The Hoi An Pass is famous for many reasons. It marks a geographic boundary between the subtropical north of Vietnam and the tropical south. And it's been a strategic military post in both ancient and modern wars. But most importantly, it was made famous when a few middle-aged British guys had an absolute blast driving through it in a 2008 Top Gear special. The full name of the pass is the Hoi An, which means the Ocean Cloud Pass. It's located along the coastline and it snakes its way up in the mountains, so you get a marvelous view. Or at least you would have a marvelous view if it wasn't all foggy and rainy. But with a little bit of luck, the fog and the rain clears up when you reach the southern part of the pass. I was gonna rent a motorbike and drive through the pass myself, but due to the horrible rain and, the traffic, I decided to go for an easy rider instead. With an easy rider, you ride on the back of a motorcycle instead of driving yourself, and that might be a good idea in Vietnam. An easy rider from Hue to Hoi An will cost you approximately 1.1 million dong. That may sound like a lot for Vietnam, but you get a lot for the money. Your luggage gets taken care of, you get rain clothes, and you get to stop along the way at interesting places like the Marble Mountains. So I still feel that I got to follow in the trail of Top Gear to a small extent. The total distance of the road is around 165 kilometers, and it's the most scenic way to get between Hue and Hoi An, with Da Nang in between. You can also take a shorter road between Hue and Da Nang, or you can take the train, but then you miss out on some amazing scenery. Taking an easy rider turned out to be a great decision for me. It was raining a lot, but my driver made sure that my luggage was completely dry. Yeah, and myself as well. He also skipped a lot of the motorway, and he showed me the real Vietnam, all the farmer backways that I wouldn't have taken otherwise. We stopped at an interesting place with nomadic people living on boats. They basically value their independence, and even though Vietnam has been a sovereign nation for many years, they still don't trust it completely. Vietnam was occupied for hundreds of years by the Chinese, by the French, and by the Americans. So these people were used to living on their boats to get some sense of freedom. Despite the beauty of the Hoi An Pass, the traffic really isn't all that bad, and the reason for that is that a tunnel under the mountain was completed in 2005, and most people hurried to take that route instead. Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear called this road one of the best ocean roads in the world, and I think I have to agree. That said, the weather could have been a lot better. It was still amazing, but I can imagine that in the summer, it's completely mind-blowing. There has been a road at the Hoi An Pass for a long time, for more than 700 years. In the 1300s, the road marked the physical boundary between the Champa and the Dai Viet kingdoms. And before that, in the 1st century AD, the Han Empire set up bronze columns there to mark their extended territory. During the Vietnam War, the road was called the Street Without Joy. Hue and Da Nang were on opposite sides of the war, and this road led between those two cities. There's even more tragedies associated with the Hoi An Pass. Many people have died in accidents on this road. Small shrines along the way mark the places where people have been killed. But it isn't as dangerous as it might seem. Most of those shrines are from the time before the tunnel was built and there was a lot more traffic on the road. It's still a little bit frightening to take those narrow corners. The motorbike is leaning a lot and it's almost brown trousers time. As you approach the city of Da Nang, you get a marvelous opportunity to see the views of the pass, and you also get to see the city spread out underneath you. And you may also notice that the weather improves as you move to the south. It gets warmer and less rainy. I definitely like that change. South of Da Nang, you find the Marble Mountains. In Vietnamese, the name actually means the Five Elements Mountains, and I think that's a much cooler name. This place is filled with hiking trails, pagodas, caves, and wonderful nature. There are 5 different mountains in total, and they are named after the 5 different elements: earth, wind, water, fire, and metal. There's a legend that the 5 mountains are actually the eggs of a huge dragon that crawled out of the sea to lay her eggs on land. Those little dragonlings are definitely taking their time to hatch though. Even though this is extremely touristy and you'll be accosted by merchants all the way, it's still something I recommend to do. It really is a beautiful place with a wonderful view, so if you're anywhere close to Da Nang, check it out. The trees are almost hiding that ugly hotel in the background. Almost, but not quite. Sorry, I'm filming this little addition from Bangkok. I forgot to mention one thing about my driver. He used to be homeless, living on the streets of Saigon. He really turned his life around, and now he has a great life. But his brother did even better. He's the one in their family who studied, and now he has a tailor shop in Hoi An. And at long last, after many hours on the road, you find yourself in the beautiful town of Hoi An. This is where this video ends, but you can see more of Hoi An in a separate video, and you should, cause Hoi An has been called the most beautiful town in all of Vietnam. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the Hoi An Pass, one of the most beautiful ocean roads in the world. Like and subscribe, but most importantly, have a great day. Now have a look at this video as well. You will like it, I guarantee it. Well, no, I don't guarantee it, but I hope you will.